Let's talk about adding a custom button to your toolbars in CNG for Intellicad. We can do this quite easily. Go to an empty space in your toolbar and right click and then go all the way down to the bottom where it says Customize. This brings up our Customize dialog box. First thing let me show you is how to get rid of a button that you don't need. Here's one on the end. I'm just going to left click and hold that down, and I'm going to drag it into an empty space in the drawing area, and I'm going to release. Notice the little X there, and now that tool button is gone. Now let's see what about adding tool buttons. We're going to go down to the custom tools, and I'm going to take a button and I'm just going to drag it right into that same place. Notice the black line that tells me where it's going. I'm going to release, and now we see it's there. If I want to create a brand new toolbar to put buttons on, I just click and drag to an empty space in the drawing area, and that creates a new toolbar called Toolbar 1. And you can add more than one button if you want. I'm just going to add a couple more here so you can see. So now that's Toolbar 1. I'm going to close the Customize box for a moment, and then I'm going to show you that we can drag the Toolbar 1 up to an empty space in the toolbars. And now we have a brand new Toolbar 1. Now let's go back in and customize. We're going to go back in and right click in an empty space and go down all the way to the bottom to customize. Notice our Toolbar 1 is there. Alright, now let's change this button here. Alright, right now it's custom button 1 and it's set to command to redraw. That's not what we want to do. First thing let's do is talk about the tooltip. That's the little bit of text that comes up when you move your mouse over a button. For instance, here you see query. That would be the function that's there where it says tooltips. Alright, so I'm going to select custom button 1, and let's instead make this button bring up the CNG global editor. So I'm going to call it CG global. And now the help string can be a much longer bit of text. This occurs in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen when you initiate a button. So now we're going to say help string CNG global edit function. Just typing it right in there. Alright, now what command brings up that function? Well, let's be certain that we get it right. So in order to do that, I'm going to go back up to the menus tab of our Customize box, and CNG draw is where you're going to find that function. So I'm going to click the plus next to that, and now we see there CG global edit. When I click on that, we see the text that's in there, which is CG underscore global underscore edit. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to use Control C to copy it, and then I'm going to go back to my toolbars. Going to move over my Customize box there. I'm going to go back to toolbars, and I'm going to click on my button that I was working with previously, and I'm going to Control V to paste that function right in there. CG underscore global underscore edit. We're going to close that, and we're going to test it by clicking on the button. Notice in the lower left it says CG global edit function. We click on that, and it brings us up asking for a coordinate file, and that's what you have to do in order to get the CG global edit. So that appears to work just fine.